If you find yourself quitting after starting projects or in the middle of projects, just too early on into things, this video is for you. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to have you here. I talk a lot about self-improvement, personal development, self-help, basically anything that we need to know in order to level up. So if you're into any of those, consider subscribing so that we could stay connected. So I used to have a really big problem with starting things but never really being able to finish them. And for a long time I thought this was just the type of person I was, but I feel like there is always a reason for how you show up in the world. And the more I thought about my reasoning for stopping projects, I realized that I wasn't inherently a quitter. I wasn't lazy or unmotivated. The reason why I was quitting was that I was actually a perfectionist and I had really high expectations for myself. But the problem with being a perfectionist is that you learn to stop seeing the value of something if it doesn't meet your standards. And what I found is that the moment you stop expecting certain outcomes or stop expecting something to go exactly the way that you planned for it to go, that moment when you actually just let go and let everything flow and trust in whatever the universe has in store for you, that is when things start happening. And it's because if you have too much of a tunnel vision on something, it's easy for opportunities to pass you by. You think, no, this is how I want it, this is what I want, anything else irrelevant to me. But sometimes we truly just haven't been exposed to the possibilities of bigger and better goals. And the goal that we think is our end all be all is actually just meant to kind of broaden our horizons and expose us to information that can guide us to a bigger, better goal. So don't limit your goals to only playing out how you expected them to. Be open to new opportunities, be open to new information. And this was honestly my biggest flaw back then. For example, I started a cosmetics business and I kind of quit pretty early on. I was like, you know what, this is not growing at the rate I expected it to. It's not gonna work out. This isn't meant for me. Let me move on to the next thing. And the reason why I even had that goal is because I wanted to quit my day job. I wasn't happy in it, so I was like, well, what's the quickest way to quit the job? And it was to start my own business, and that's what I did. And I did eventually quit my job, but I ended up getting a different job, like a remote job, because I just didn't really see it generating the revenue that I thought it was going to generate. And I thought that this business was just gonna be a business for me to do while I finished my degree. And what ended up happening is that I am now leveraging that business and the skills that I've learned from that business to apply into things that go into my career field, into my major. And I also leveraged those skills on my YouTube channel. I'm now comfortable to talk to a camera, comfortable posting videos online, comfortable creating content, and I'm comfortable with managing a content calendar. I thought that this business was supposed to be this huge endeavor for me that was going to help me generate a stable income, but in reality, that business was actually just meant to kind of help me step foot into starting my own YouTube channel and help me step foot into the marketing world so that I could pursue a career in marketing, which is what I actually want to do. And now I'm going back into posting content just so that I could leverage that into that field. But because I was and kind of still am such a perfectionist, I thought that me not meeting the standards that I had for that business and for myself, honestly, meant that I was failing at that, meant that that was just me wasting my time. I thought, oh, well, things are not playing out how I expected them to play out, so what is the point? Let me completely quit and let me pursue something else, because this must not have value. But that was not true, and that is kind of what I'm realizing now that I am leveraging that account. Yeah, it didn't grow as fast as I expected it to grow. It didn't fulfill what I thought it was gonna fulfill, but I have a pretty good following on that account, and I am leveraging that account for something else. So it was not a complete failure. I just kind of had to trust that I had that itch to start my cosmetics business for something greater, something that I had not yet known. And so now I realized that, my business was not a failure. It was the training ground for my future. It taught me new skills, opened up career opportunities, and gave me the confidence to do things that I never thought I would be doing. I never thought that I would be doing this YouTube channel, but here I am. So I just literally had to have a little bit of faith and, tell myself and remind myself that the reason why I even had that itch to start a business, like, it was for something greater, something that I might have not even known yet at that time, but now I am seeing why I had to go through that process. And that's the thing, when you focus on the process, the journey, as cliche as it sounds, you will eventually get to see the bigger picture, even if it takes a while. So sometimes the goals that we make for ourselves are just meant to teach us a lesson, and the real reward might not even be something that you see coming, but it is still going to have value nonetheless. So don't stress too much when things don't go your way, and don't give up just because you haven't reached that perfect outcome yet. Oftentimes it means that the real reward is still yet to come. It's still playing out and you are still having to learn shit to get there. And honestly, if there's anything that this year has taught me, is that sometimes your blessings will be disguised as setbacks and hardships and obstacles, but eventually they will reveal their true form, so long as you don't just stop midway. So if you're in a similar position as I am, if you're pondering and realizing that your high expectations are the reason why you quit early on into a journey, remind yourself that perfectionism is not your friend. The real magic happens when you let go of control and trust that God or the universe, whoever it is that you believe in, knows what they're doing. So keep going, and if you've already quit, go back, hop back into it, because that is literally what I did. Sometimes we just need a little bit of a pick-me-up, and that is okay. But that was all that I had for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I hope this motivated you to continue pushing through whatever it is that you are going through, and just reminded you to not quit early on. You truly just never know where the next step will take you. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you found it helpful, also so that we could just continue to embark on a leveling up journey together, because that is what my channel is all about. And until next time.